Welcome back to Sunday Night in America.
I get so sick and tired of people in this country and in this city that believes that the only thing that you can offer black people and poor people is jails, incarceration, and police officers. The fact of the matter is, no one has asked me to send federal troops into this city to make it safe. We are driving violence down on this city, and we're using every single resource that's available to us. Jails and incarceration and law enforcement is a sickness that has not led to safe communities.
So the mayor of Chicago demonizes cops, belittles public safety, and defends criminals. Jasmine Crockett channels Aristotle when she says committing a crime does not make you a criminal. AOC can't even vote for a resolution honoring a murdered man who did something she rarely does, which is engage with political opponents. So for all the voices on the left worried about their own safety, who do they call for protection? You think they call progressive prosecutors? You think they call liberal mayors? You think they call unintelligible members of Congress? You think they call social workers? No, they call the cops. The police are good enough to protect them, but other than that, they see them as the problem. And that is the real problem. Joining us is former FBI Special Agent Nicole Parker. Welcome, Special Agent. The left went from defund the police to the police are the problem. The contrast to me is pretty stark. The right says cops are part of the solution. The left says cops are part of the problem. How do you see it?
I'd love to give you my analysis because I had the opportunity to work under 3 different administrations in the FBI. As a special agent, I worked under the Obama, Trump, and Biden administrations. And I can tell you, it was night and day between the Democratic and the Republican administrations. And let me explain to you some things that I personally saw, both federally and also with my state and local counterparts, their experiences as well, depending on which jurisdiction you're in. If you're in a left-leaning blue city, defund the police. Cops are bad. They believe in social justice and equity over enforcing laws. They believe in no cash bail. They believe in no accountability for those that, are violating very serious laws. And they really are hamstrung. The police officers are hamstrung. Law enforcement is hamstrung. I can tell you when I was an agent under the Democratic administrations, there were times I did not even want to work violent crime because I was in fear of having to pull out my weapon because I didn't know if DOJ's deadly force policy would cover me under the Biden and Obama administrations. And that's not a good thing to do. We are expected to put our lives on the line to protect complete strangers. But I can tell you when it was the Trump administration and working in more red cities, they believe in police. They believe in proactive policing. They believe in giving them resources, the funding, the training that they need. They believe in qualified immunity. They believe in accountability and consequences for those that break the law. And I can tell you it is a night and day experience. I lived it myself. When you are a law enforcement officer and you feel that no one has your back, that the mayor, that those that are appointed officials will not back you up, you are completely hamstrung.
Yeah, I actually feel sorry for people that live in Chicago if this is their leader. He is so tone deaf. Speaking of which, I know I sound like a broken record, but that's okay if the song is good. The feds do not have to ask permission to enforce federal law anywhere. So I got bad news for the mayor of Chicago. The FBI doesn't have to ask whether or not they can come in and enforce federal laws. Help the public understand we ain't asking, we're coming.
You're exactly right. They don't need permission because you know what? We have something called the United States Constitution, and there's a supremacy clause in there, Article 6, Clause 2, and it allows feds to come in and do their jobs. The federal law is the supreme law of the land. And, if it contradicts with the state law, guess who trumps? The federal law. And so they can kick and scream and whine and complain all that they want. But the feds do have jurisdiction to enforce federal laws. It would be nice if the locals would be permitted to work with the feds. That would be really great and helpful. And what I can tell you that most people in law enforcement, they want to help the feds. It's that they're not allowed to because of their leadership. Their political appointed leadership and other laws in their states don't permit them to. And that's really sad. But let me just tell you, I agree. The feds aren't going to stop or slow down because these states are saying, no, you're not welcome here. We don't want you here. Like you said, they don't need your permission. That is the federal law. It is the supreme law of the land, and they will do what they have to do to put people behind bars and hold people accountable for breaking federal laws.
All right, before we go, let's you and I rattle off the lists together. Drugs, guns, organized crime, carjackings. What are some other areas where the feds can help state law enforcement, regardless of what jurisdiction, whether it's red or blue? I mean, there are lots of ways that FBI agents, ATF, DEA can help keep a community safer if only the leaders would let them.
Right. Again, it comes down to that. And thankfully, I was an FBI agent in Miami. And so there was a very strong, unity between the local, state, and federal law enforcement there. But like you've mentioned, Chicago, Seattle, Portland, New York, other places may not have that feeling. But what we would look at a lot of times, Trey, and because you were a prosecutor, you go in, you look at the crime. And if it's going to be better suited in the state system and the local system, and that's where the jurisdiction lies, fabulous. But there are crimes that could go either way. And so that's what I think is a beautiful thing, is that when you work together with your counterparts and you determine where are you going to get the biggest bang for your buck, and that's who takes over the investigation. That's who runs it. Having worked violent crime in Miami, we were working all sorts of violations with the locals. Hobbs Acts, it was happening all of the time. And they'd come in and say, you know what, we really could use your assistance on this. And so we would step in and we would say, all right, let's get in here and let's put these people behind bars federally. And there's something very interesting that would happen. A lot of times, these people would blow off local cops. When the feds show up, they know it's serious, game over, and all of a sudden, they know that there are going to be consequences.
Special Agent Nicole Parker, thank you for joining us on a Sunday night and for your service to our country.
Thank you.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.